This is Titanic, the artifact exhibition located in Orlando, Florida. We're going to take a tour of, and see the artifacts and replicas of rooms on the Titanic. So come join us.
Her passengers were from across the spectrum of society. The rich, the celebrated, and the humble, seeking a new life in a new land. The loss of the Titanic was before us.
And you, sir, where are you from? Us third-class passengers on our White Star Line, we were treated like royalty. What? Not only were we served 3 meals a day, first-class passengers, of course we had to share 2 bathrooms with over 750 people. But he was still treated better, no chance of that. We were all treated fancy as we.
I didn't know that.
Of course, the rooms were the best that any ship had had at the time for third-class passengers.
Everywhere around us. The Titanic was a technological wonder. A ship of unparalleled majesty.
Scale model of the
She
Titanic.
was the embodiment of the spirit of the
Some went to Southampton, but others went to Queenstown, like me. So some boarded at Queenstown, Ireland.
Okay. I
Others
didn't know
boarded
that.
at Southampton,
Okay, so
England,
they went first.
and then Cherbourg, France, right across the harbour.
Oh, so they picked. We picked up.
Photo took place during the construction of the Titanic, of the screw shafts.
Glad to see you guys actually came in.
This is a launch day ticket for the Titanic. This is an Utley pivoting porthole frame. And the ticketing booth. I'm going to step right up. I'm going to buy one ill-fated ticket aboard the Titanic. Collection of luggage tags. White Star Line. Departure of the Titanic. Captain Edward James Smith, most experienced of the White Star Line captains. And here we have a coat hook, engine wrench, and some swimming and bathing bathroom tiles. This board is from the RMS Olympic decking, pretty solid wood, and then a fire extinguisher. All right, let's go aboard. No exit from this ship. This is one of the deck chairs from the Titanic, and it looks very relaxing, especially if you're out in the sun. This is the gallery cookware. An assortment of items from the Titanic, including a chamber pot, mustard bottle, tobacco spittoon, and a ceramic jug. 2 parts of a clarinet, some sheet music, and a clarinet pouch and reeds. Edging a floor tile from the first-class smoking room. This is a hot and cold water bath valves. First-class dining room floor tile. Floor tile fragment from the gallery. And these are fleur-de-lis floor tiles. This is the Marconi wireless room. A leather suitcase from the Titanic. Here we have an envelope with a postcard and a stamp, and a Valentine's Day postcard, both retrieved from the bottom of the sea. And this is a saw handle and tool handles. Folding ruler. Postcard of Garfield Park with a stamp. This is a place and egg cup. Bromo seltzer bottle. Hunter case and pocket watch. Now all these items have been retrieved from the Titanic beneath the sea. This is a miniature dog figurine recovered. And this is what first class accommodations would have looked like aboard the Titanic, the largest, most luxurious ocean liner ever built. And some dinnerware, including first class special service plate, some napkin rings, crystal candy dish, first class bouillon cup and saucer, and first class fork and teaspoon. Some wine and champagne bottles recovered from the Titanic. These are some second class dining items, including a milk pitcher. Some third class dining items, including a soup bowl and cup up front. This is a copper sugar bowl, and at the top there is a third class fruit bowl. A bunch of assorted items, including a marble sink fragment with the water faucet and the water valve. A chandelier collar. This is the veranda room, replica. This is the first class cabin B38, first class cabin B64. This would be a view of the dining room, or elevator. And the sitting room, obviously first class. And here is the architectural design of the Titanic, top 3 floors. And a few more decks of the Titanic and its sister ship, the Atlantic. And this is George Dunton Widener, traveled in first class. He was one of the wealthiest citizens of Philadelphia. Is that an old Irish ditty?
It's a song about them Galway girls.
Oh, okay.
You hear about that?
No, I haven't heard about that one.
Their hair is black, their eyes are blue. They're some of the most gorgeous girls you're ever gonna meet. I used to have one, but unfortunately she left me out one day and broke my heart.
That's a sad story.
Unfortunately. That night, I'll never forget it.
And some of the wealthy people did have automobiles that were loaded on to the Titanic. This is the boiler room. This is a replica. This is where they would feed the coal, give the Titanic energy to move. Some coal and a mud box lid. This is a speaking tube that was used by the crew to communicate between decks. And a large photo of the steam room. See the enormity of the machinery. This is a crisscross plans of the engine compartments. These are the plans showing the general engine arrangement in the engine room of the Titanic. And this is the warning gong up front and an electric fuse panel. This is a replica steering wheel and navigation apparatus. This is the actual main engine room telegraph that was recovered in the Titanic. These are replicas, the watertight door indicator panel, and other instrumentation. And I think we're going to take a stroll on the deck. It's a lovely evening, nice view of the water. This is a replica of a life jacket that was used aboard the Titanic. This towel was retrieved from the bottom of the sea in the Titanic. Looks like it's got some water damage. This is a letter to Edgar Andrew from his mother, and is dated November 27th, 1911. These pair of lace shoes were recovered from the Titanic. And this pair of postcards of Argentina and London were both preserved. And this pair of postcards, one on the left of Argentina, the other one of London, and they were preserved very well from the bottom wreck of the Titanic. These are members of the Titanic's orchestra, the Birkenhead Band, and they played to try to soothe the nerves of those escaping the sinking Titanic. Some vintage newspaper headlines regarding the sinking of the Titanic. Headline from the Boston Daily Globe, the sinking of the Titanic. Headline from the New York American newspaper, the sinking of the Titanic. The Washington Post headline regarding the Titanic sinking. The Evening Star newspaper reporting of the Titanic. And the flat calm right before the Titanic met the infamous iceberg. And a scene from a telegraph room, it would have been similar, probably more frantic, as the Titanic called for help. Calling for help. All stations in distress. The Titanic's call letter is MGY. And the call for SOS. A silver watch and chain that belonged to Annie Caton. She survived the Titanic. She worked the Turkish bath area of the ship. This is a Prometheus electric heater, and this was recovered from the wreckage of the Titanic. This standard home and school dictionary was recovered from the wreckage of the Titanic. And the iceberg appeared in view. Iceberg right ahead. The famous call. The less famous, blimey, we just hit an iceberg. That infamous night in 1912. scraping of the ship against the iceberg. April 15th, 1912, 2:15 a.m. And the sinking. This is a deck support, which is original from the Titanic and recovered from beneath the waves. This is a 2-ton fragment of the Titanic's hull recovered from below the ocean.
It's incredible to say I'm touching a piece of the Titanic.
So this is a piece of the hull of the Titanic that you can actually touch.
Yes, sir. Well, it is metal. It can be a little sharp in some places.
Yeah, that's iron.
Yes.
All right, interesting. Wow.
Questions for last minute? Feel free to ask.
And that piece behind me, the fragment of the hull, the larger piece is the bottom. It's the bottom part of this. The top part is in the Las Vegas Titanic exhibit. The bottom part is here. It's the only piece to have sunken twice on the Titanic. The bottom part, as soon as it hit the air, the oxygen just cracked it and it dropped. They went down and they retrieved it. And that's the piece that we're looking at here today. This is a memorial. The names of the lives of the first class passengers. 130 were lost. 199 were saved. And a memorial listing of the second class passengers, of which 166 lost their lives, 119 were saved. The memorial of the third class passengers, in which 536 lost their lives and 174 were saved. And members of the crew, which surprisingly, 685 lost their lives, but 214 were saved. You would have thought that more would have gone down with the ship to allow the passengers to live.
Sí, yo te muestro.